It's not really that great of a situation. What's up? If you're clicking into this video, we go live Monday through Friday talking about various collectibles news with something different every single day. Yesterday, we talked about how Manchester United scrubbed some of their digital collectibles, or at least it seems that way. The day before that, we talked about how there's a ton of Pokemon break-ins, robberies, thefts, all that kind of stuff. We had different interviews that we went over from shop owners, and the world is in absolute complete chaos. And of course, we are trying to bring you the things you didn't think that you'd want to learn about that you ultimately end up doing. So today's stream, we are going down a path of looking back to the 21-22 era, where digital collectibles were very, very hot, and certain people were seeing, hey, you know what? If the world's going digital, let's jump into that. And LaMelo Ball was one of those people who had a team, whether it was him specifically or advisors, that was like, hey, this is probably something to pay attention to. And he dropped a bunch of different things, some really cool, some kind of We'll digress and go over that. We are going to also look over a Harry Potter wand auction. Oddly enough, we are going to go over some fantastic food and a whole bunch else. So thank you for tuning in. Let's get into it. Grilled cheese. Somebody went to a party and they had a whole table of grilled cheese. Phenomenal idea, 10 out of 10. Where the hell do we sign up for that sort of party? An eBay scammer. So this is from Ty Wilson. I'm assuming this is his video. It's always weird when you see something and you're like, all right, is this an actual video? Is this somebody else's? Did they rip it? What the hell is going on? But 122,000 views. What the hell is going on with eBay and these new scams? And we'll get to LaMelo in just a second.
All right, you ready to hear another ridiculous eBay story? So check this out. Yvonne Rodriguez, I sold this finest refractor for 40 bucks about 3 weeks ago. Well, the buyer claimed that he received a damaged slab, and he sent me this picture, which I immediately knew was an AI-generated image, which is a new trend with eBay buyers trying to scam sellers by running an image through an AI generator to make it look like it's damaged. Well, that's obviously not a damaged slab. That's an AI-generated image. So I tell eBay, look, this is not the case. It's an AI-generated image. They immediately side with the buyer, and they say, too bad. We sent him a label to send this card back to you. Whatever, right? Well, I just got the package back from the buyer. Check this out. First off, it comes up in a wrapped up Prime, Amazon Prime bubble mailer, and it's from somebody else's mailbox. I'm not going to show you the address, probably because it was stolen. And I open it up with the eBay return label, and this is what I get back. My Yvonne Rodriguez turns into a That's Dancing VHS. So a couple things real quick. Number one, eBay needs to stop citing on an eBay buyer account that just opened a few weeks ago and start siding with sellers who've sold tens of thousands of items over the course of a decade plus. Second, they really need to get a hold of this AI generated image stuff, because this is going to get out of hand if they don't fix it right now. And third, if you're going to send me back a movie instead of my card, at least make sure it's a Blu-ray, not a VHS.
Dude, every day there's just something crazy happening within the world, and you're like, how can it get more insane? And of course it does. And LaMelo Ball, the superstar, what is going on? Only gets 2 points, 1 from 15 from the field, and 0 from 10 at the 3-point line. So honestly, I seen this and it sparked my remembering of all of his collectibles from before. So I was just ripping through this feed, and a bunch of this stuff is back in 22. The account's really not active anymore, but LaMelo Ball Collectibles, or LaMelo-verse, as we aptly call ourselves, Schillerverse, on most of the socials on here. But he had an account, again, a team that they were trying to pursue, doing some kind of cool collectibles. And a lot of this was in the digital collectible space, where the opportunity to be able to connect and have something different was really the key driving factor. And one of the big key driving factors was the fact that Sandbox was all about it. And Sandbox, if you don't know, is, I don't know if I want to call it like Roblox, but it's a world that's kind of open. People are able to make their own experiences within it, and it does have kind of a crypto connection. So here's the promo video that they had for one of the LaMelo Ball collections. And all of this was in voxel style as well, but this was back on July 17th of 2023. So this actually isn't even all the way back to the 22-21 time frame. It's only three years ago when you think about the fact that we're in 2026. So they had, as you saw, 4 different rarities within it, and you could play as LaMelo and have an avatar. Now, Sandbox has partnered with almost everybody under the sun. They've done different things with Snoop Dogg as well, but it is something that, this is specific to LaMelo. And now, in addition to the fact that they had the Avatar collection, one of the more personal side of things that they did for his collectibles was they had a... I don't even know what these are called. I guess just LaMelo Ball Collectibles. I thought that they had a different name, but I think that there was like the bronze, blue moon, gold, and it was another variant where there was 4 different tiers of rarity, and you were able to submit or have this collection where you were able to potentially get free signed merchandise from LaMelo. So people were like, oh, that's phenomenal. Let's get, involved in that. And then from a different perspective, there was a partnership between Puma, Gutter Cat Gang, which is a crypto native brand, which I'm actually doing an interview with Dog Tour, who is now in charge of Gutter Cat Gang, because it's gone through a whole bunch of different ownerships. And again, this was a while ago, back in 2023, but with LaMelo. And these shoes were actually super cool, I thought. But if you go and look at LaMelo Ball's shoes in general, the majority of the ones that he sold are all kind of that same color variant, but just in in different colors. So it is exclusive to an extent, but they were done in different colors. And then you keep going on, and then one of the reasons that this happened was because LaMelo Ball actually wore these Gutter Cat Gang shoes in an NBA game. Now, you'll notice immediately that these aren't the same shoes that were shown a second ago. These were, I guess, like custom-made ones for him, because you have like the Gutter Cat Gang NFT that's on it, and the other ones just had kind of the coloring for LaMelo itself. And it's like, okay, that's kind of neat, but you don't see anybody really bringing these things up anymore. But at the time, it was super, super cool. And then a part of those specific LaMelo Ball collectibles was the opportunity to go in Discord and hang out with Mr. LaMelo Ball in a voice chat, where that was the idea originally on with all these digital collections, the ability to connect, the barriers being gone. Hey, you want to have access to this? Hey, I'm an athlete. Sure. Let's, get on a call if you want to support me, and you can do it directly, because otherwise, think about it, from going to buy a jersey at the official stores and everything else, there's no way to really be able to connect one-on-one with these different athletes. So at the time, everybody was getting involved in just that. So here's the webpage for the LaMelo Ball collectibles. So it was the Red Mars, Blue Neptune, Silver Moon, and then Gold Evolve, which cost 2.6 ETH, which I feel is like close to $10,000 right now. And they had drop number 2, so they did they had the 4 color variants initially, and then they did another 4 color variants after that. If we go over to the FAQ side, let's run through this quickly to see if you would have been inspired to purchase such a thing back in the day. Because remember, we look at this and we say, okay, nothing's really happened with a lot of these things in that account. The LaMeloverse hasn't posted in years. But try to imagine yourself back in the day coming across this for the first time. Would you have purchased it? So we know who the hell LaMelo Ball is, but what are NFT collectibles? NFTs are digital items that are stored and transferred using the same blockchain technologies that power cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin and Ethereum. NFT stands for non-fungible token. For example, a Bitcoin is a fungible trade one for another Bitcoin. You'll have exactly the same thing. A collectible, however, is non-fungible. If you traded it for another collectible, you'd have something different. No two collectibles are exactly the same. So how are LaMelo ones specifically different, you ask? LaMelo's NFTs are dynamic and supercharged with utilities powered by Ether cards and Chainlink. Owning a LaMelo Ball collectible grants VIP access to Melo's inner community, where owners are rewarded for owning the collectible. Each collectible has a level up capability based on the outcome of real life events like a Rookie of the Year announcement. As LaMelo's career evolves, so will the collection with dynamic integrations to stats and milestones. Fans holding certain NFTs will win highly curated memorabilia and exclusive experiences. So they brought up Ether cards and Chainlink. I want to take you to an Instagram post for just a second. So this was 242 weeks ago amongst all of this, but LaMelo Ball Collectibles X Chainlink X Ether cards, dynamic NFTs tied to my stats designed by some people. They were $28 each. Each token earns full utility via ultra rare memorabilia, predictive. And this is where it's like sort of confusing because I think... Okay, so yeah, this is the same thing. I thought that there was like an additional artistry, but these look like just promo posters on there because it brings up like the Silver Moon, the Gold Sun Rookie of the Year edition, and that was a part of it. So to clarify, has been posting across all the different socials at the time. So how involved is LaMelo Ball in this project? LaMelo Ball Collectibles is LaMelo Ball's only official blockchain project. The intention is to mint LaMelo Ball's entire career on the blockchain, starting with his rookie 2021 season. Is the only official blockchain project. Okay, so what about the Sandbox though? Would that, we just looked at the Sandbox variant, so is that one like not an official LaMelo and they're just like using his name and it's not classified as this? I don't know. So that was the breakdown of the prices. Super, super expensive. The gold one was 3 ETH, which is insane. What happens if some of the collectibles don't sell out in the current price points before the deadline? The NFTs that do not sell out will be locked and removed from circulation. So back in the day, this was another thing where certain collections, and a lot of these were, I should say, avatar collections of some sort, where it was almost looked at as a bad thing if you didn't sell out. So there was this collection called Cool Cats that was these drawings of cats, and they had them where they they basically like cut the price in half, thinking, oh my God, we need to sell out. And so there was a debate back in the day of, all right, do you just have it listed at the price that you want to get? And then those people that pay that premium are maybe more exclusive in a sense. And that's what the way they did things with LaMelo. They explain how to buy this, how they're searchable. Can I get more than one? What happens after I buy the collectible? Sure. After purchasing a collectible, the digital item is transferred to the digital asset wallet that you connected to for the transaction. Once it's in your wallet, it will remain there until you transfer it to another one. The owner of the wallet that collectible is stored in will receive rewards and special opportunities that will be announced in parallel to LaMelo's real life. Is there a commitment to future releases? While there are no official announcements of a future release yet, the current collection will update with LaMelo's stats throughout his career. There are several popular statistics, rebounds, 3 points, and potential accolades that have yet to be minted or integrated within the current collection. So if we go back to this, again, I'm just trying to see the exact, so 20... Wow, the last thing that they said, well, no, that was the pin post. So yeah, July 2023 was the last retweet. The last specific post from the account was June of 2023 when they talked about the sale for the shoe. And that was the last time we sort of heard of them. And then, of course, going just to like to the physical side here for Uno Momento, the Hornet shop does have a bunch of different collectibles from him. A Beckett out of 10, $500 signed poster, jerseys, collage. It's actually kind of cool with like the plaque and the trading cards amongst that. But there's a look at some of the cards. And I find it super interesting that the official store is selling graded slabs of LaMelo specifically. But I guess these ones are signed authentic, everything else under the sun, but for $700. So what do you think? We'll probably go down like a path of other celebrities because I'm assuming there's a lot more, but that LaMelo one specifically, I remember following very, very closely back in the day. And another kind of funky thing that happened around these metaverses and something they highlighted was Jim Jones and Migos doing a metaverse theater opening show in Decentraland. So there's Sandbox and Decentraland, both of them kind of these open world experiences with different platforms, places. They tried to have digital concerts be a thing. I don't know if it necessarily stuck. So let's get into some other collectibles news, and I hope you guys enjoyed that segment around LaMelo Ball collectibles. But Wizards of the Coast around Magic the Gathering announced that they are just going to show off all of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle cards that are the rare variants, because they're pretty much all floating out there from different photos, because the pre-release for Lorwyn Eclipse, every couple of months, they have a new set that's released, and within there, I guess there was a printing error of some sort, and they threw in the upcoming set before it released, and that kind of put kind of a weird spin on what happened around Lorwyn, just because it was hyped up in its own sense, but then everybody's like, hey, look, we got to see all these Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle cards. An American dad building out these neon signs, one of the Charizards. That's absolutely fire. Says it took him 9 hours to build. I'd love to see what the process looks like on that front. And if you're a fan of DoorDash, have you seen the new cars they are rolling out for your delivery?
So cute. Okay, open it. I don't know where. Yeah. Sell my. Oh. Okay, close it.
Hell. Oh, baby. First, we're talking about eBay scams using AI. Now we have the remote drivers dropping off your DoorDash order. In the past several streams, we've brought up the cups from movie theaters, and somebody had some from the Phantom Menace, which look way better than the ones nowadays, because for most of the part, you don't even get like the top character. You just get like a cool, funky design on the cup itself. But that's some vintage collectibles that I love a little bit of right there. Okay. So on the tokenized front, which we talk about all the time, and again, if you're wanting some different conversations on that front, we do the RWA Segments podcast, which you can find the link down in the description down below on YouTube, or if you follow me on X, you'll find that in my bio, and I'm doing a interview a little bit later today. The very cool guest, so excited for you guys to listen to that one. But Amazon is getting a part of this tokenized realm, and they are doing these feels, okay? So if you were to look at this, they label it Pack of Feels, okay? You have some different collections. So this is a part of something that Yuga did, which is the creators of Bored Ape. They're called Codas. This, which my hand doesn't reach that far, the heavy metal is another collection character, whatever, that previously was owned by Yuga Labs, but then some other different individuals purchased it, but it's sort of an up-and-coming game. And those are just called heavy metals. And they're supposed to evolve, sort of like Pokemon, so think that that's like the starter, and then it'll get bigger, whatever. Chimpers. I did an interview actually with insight from Chimpers, again, on the podcast, if you guys want to go back and listen to that. Great rendition. But they are doing kind of a cute, very interesting. If you go on like TikTok, Instagram, they have a ton of different shorts. And again, it's called Chimpers. And they have a whole bunch of different avatars that are associated with it. And then emojis. This is another avatar collection that's just based off of an ape. So when I looked at this, I was like, okay, it's a pack of feels. Like, so I'm buying emotion, essentially. And then I kind of clued into it. When I looked at this and they showed what some of them look like, I was like, oh, these look like stickers of some sort. And that's exactly what it was. They are basically emotes inside of a video game. And so in terms of the tokenization realm, things doing something a little bit different. We've seen Amazon previously do these Boximus drops where it was like a Amazon Prime box character that you could play as an avatar within the other side Metaverse. And now they are doing these different emotes, which again, if you've played Marvel Rivals, Overwatch, League of Legends, basically all video games have some sort of emote that's associated with it, and Amazon jumping in on that train. And then we also saw the launch of the Solana mobile token, where everybody started immediately comparing it to Apple, being like, okay, so Solana mobile, 125 million phones manufactured. Oh, only got to get up to 3.468 billion to catch Apple. So we'll see what happens on that front. A lot of people excited around the Solana phone, and we'll see if there is any real uptick for Solana infrastructure or technology to compete on the mobile grand stage. Daniel Radcliffe's Harry Potter hero wand from Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone was just bid on a winter Hollywood memorabilia auction. $18,755 for a movie prop. Wow. And think of how many different, so they had what, 7, 8 different movies? And probably changed clothes, items used, everything. Man, we got to get into the movie business. That is just the big bucks. And more movie things. Final sale price on this Walt Disney signed original Mickey Mouse drawing in framed collage with other artists multi-signed inscribed. Is like the weirdest phrasing to call this. $32,500 for some of the original drawings. Crazy to think about that those like were just kept in like pristine condition for all those years. It's very cool. Very cool. But that's it for this edition of XFeed. I appreciate you guys so much for coming on through. If you liked the video, well, would love for you to like it. If there's any comments you guys have or things you're wanting me to talk about, would love to hear that as well. But thank you again, and I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.